right, we're going to do city council now. Minutes for city council. Winner of the draw is Mr. Viola. He's going to go first. He has 3 minutes.
Hello, my name is Rick Bonfile, and I am a 5th generation Taylorite. My family has had various businesses and commercial real estate, residential real estate in Taylor going back to the 1800s. So I was born and raised here, went to Memorial Baptist Church, St. Mary's School, Taylor High, before going on to Baylor University. I studied finance in the business school at Baylor University, also studied religion. Afterwards, I went back to Baylor to get an MBA, or a master's in finance. And then after that, actually, I was a professor of corporate finance at Baylor. From there, I went to Dallas to start a 25-year career in corporate finance, mostly working on things like budgets, profitability analysis, return on investment calculations, and cost-benefit analysis. As far as my elevator resume, right? So as far as my campaign goes, I'm eccentric, which basically means I'm moderate. I don't have extreme views on the left or on the right. And my political philosophy is that I believe as a politician that having your job is working with your constituents and people that you represent in your area. The other half of your job is working with your colleagues in whatever body it is that you are in, be it the Senate or Congress or City Council. So my main 3 campaign bullet points, I'd like to be able to use my skills in finance and budgeting to help increase and deploy more money towards streets and infrastructure. My second point is that I would really like to try to de-escalate the cultural wars here. And my third point is I would like to increase staffing and budgets for the police department, fire department, and the permits department. Again, my name is Rick Bonfile. Thank you.
My name is Dwayne Areola. I was born here in Taylor, and I'm a 1985 graduate of Taylor High School. As a city, we have been through a lot over the past few years. COVID, freeze of 2021, power outages, landing Samsung, the largest economic development project in Texas history. Now is the time for a steady, common sense, experienced hands, and that's why I'm asking for your vote. My experience prepared me to help our town through those ups and downs. I have 20 years in the Navy, running $1 million nuclear submarines and their crews. Since retiring, I have run multi-million-dollar construction projects. I'm retired Navy, but I'm not retired. My current position is Director of Technical Services. I am always up to date on all the latest requirements, best practices, and economic development incentives being used nationally in the construction world for mission-critical manufacturing plants. We've been told all our lives, growth is coming, growth is coming. Well, it's here, and we have to get it right the first time. Our choice isn't whether Taylor grows, but whether we guide that growth in a way that preserves the Taylor we know and love. My vision for Taylor is that it continues to be a place where people can live and work, not just commute to other cities. And that means recruiting more jobs and more companies, growing the industrial and manufacturing base of our economy. I'm the only candidate up here with the experience needed to lead this growth, so our children and their children will have a place to live and work and not export our people to Austin for work like we have for decades. I get some flack because I ask a lot of tough questions for staff as well as for organizations asking for tax incentives. My experience allows me to see the long-term goals, not just be reactive with the short-term goals. I love Taylor. This town made me who I am. And I sincerely put the interests of this town first in every decision that comes before the council. Every candidate for office makes promises, but I am the only candidate up here who can say I voted to lower taxes, the only candidate who can say I fought for increasing the pay for first responders, and against the council for giving themselves a huge pay raise with no citizen input. I'm going to start that paragraph over. Every candidate for office makes promises, but I'm the only one up here who can say I voted to lower taxes. The only candidate can say I fought for increasing the pay for first responders and against the council giving them this huge pay raise. Ready? Okay. I'm the only candidate who has actually done something to increase the homestead exemption for seniors and the disabled, doubling it since 2019 to $40,000 currently. I created our city's first strategic plan for infrastructure so we can actually fix our streets. On the basis of my experience and track record as your city council member at large, I would be honored to continue to serve the town I love, and I'm asking for your vote.
Hi, I'm Sandra Wolf. I've been enjoying this community since the 80s, but originally I'm a dairy farmer's daughter from Texas, Wisconsin. You know, Texas got a long reach. And I grew up, you know, learning how, you know, already when I was like, I can't remember how old I was. We started working. We worked as a family, worked as a community. And I can remember being like 9, 10 years old, already taking classes for first aid, CPR, basic paramedic training. Because back in those days,
I'm sorry, can you hold the mic a little closer so that you're going to say?
back in those days, we didn't have EMS. We didn't have a whole lot of different infrastructure things. But we had a beautiful place like Taylor. And a lot of companies came in. They're gone now. But one thing I'm very proud of my family and my state being able to do is preserve the environment. Because regardless, one thing I learned in my family, whether I was out rescuing, whether I was, you know, having to bring people in or help people get in the woods or wherever they were at, or they were freezing or whatever was happening, I learned that you take care of the soil, you take care of the land. Because when it comes right down to it, as my great uncles would say, they were all veterans, they say, the way you win the war is food. The way you win the war on anything is compassion and caring. So you take care of your water, you take care of your land, and everything else will start falling into place. People are always going to argue. There's always going to be she said, he said, they said, you said. But the bottom line is my great aunt, when she taught school in the one-room schoolhouse up north, she would say, there's so much good in the worst of us, and so much bad in the best of us, that we do not need to talk about any of us. So we've got 365 days in a year to do whatever. But right now, while there's time, work needs to be done and chores need to be done. Right now, we got a lot of chores to do because Taylor's fixing to move, and we can do it the most beautiful way because we have the best resource in the world in this town. I love being able to call home and say, hey, you know, you guys really will. And they even function with one another's families. That in itself is a resource that you cannot put a dollar or anything on because it's called the heart of the people. And Texas has laws to protect their citizens that are more valuable, and other states don't have that. That's why this is God's country. And God was so smart, he put aquifers all under us, and they're all intertwined with each other. And we can take care of it, preserve it. And if they're going to go to Mars, well, that's great, but Earth is first. This is Earth Week. And let's remember what's really important in this world, and that is each other, and let's take care of Earth is first.
Thank you, Chamber. Thank you, Taylor Press, for this opportunity. In my professional and academic career, my job was bringing people together, listening and solving problems for my design clients, my students, and multiple small communities, trying to stimulate economic growth and preserve their heritage and culture. I moved here about 12 years ago, mostly because my daughter is here tonight, was here, and I wanted to be close to her and her family. But I also wanted to become part of the community, and I've grown to love Taylor and its people. Positions of leadership came organically, starting with creating Pecan Manor Bed and Breakfast. I created a business from an old building that I came to love. Positions of leadership included chair of the Chamber of Commerce, many years of being an ambassador, leading the task force to repurpose Old Taylor High when people said, oh, it's a school, it's always been a school, it should stay a school. We learned that it could be so much more. And then lately founding Music on Main, that free concert. There will be one this Thursday. I'm running for City Council to help preserve the Taylor community at this amazing economic crossroad. This can be done by addressing Taylor's affordability, partially through further enhancing the homestead exemption, but also focusing on our local businesses. Homestead exemption will help the folks over 65 and disabled stay in their homes, and that's really important. But supporting local businesses will bring new customers into our local shops and restaurants, ensuring future prosperity in Taylor. Without local shops and eateries, the owner of all those new homes in the new developments and the industrial workers coming for Samsung will go elsewhere. And once again, Hutto and Round Rock will prosper instead of Taylor. Busy shops, busy eateries attract similar businesses and bring in dollars from other towns. The thriving Taylor the old timers talk about is one of a downtown vitality with lots of locally owned shops, and we can do that again. Old Taylor High is a great example of shopping in the neighborhoods. We can repeat that example on a variety of scales in our neighborhoods and downtown with the support of a focused Taylor area business marketing plan. My goal in this election is to help Taylor preserve its history and to define its future.